If you missed it, which I'm not sure how you could miss it, the Georgia Bulldogs just broke an NFL draft record, having 15 players selected. Broke the record that LSU set in 2020 after their magical championship run. Georgia has their own magical championship run, and all of a sudden, that record's broken. That historic defense proved true. 5 first-rounders from that defense. And then let's count half for Jermaine Johnson because he was at Georgia in 2020. So let's count half of Jermaine Johnson, another guy that went to Georgia, also drafted in the first round. You had a few offensive guys. You had more defensive guys go as time went on. You had a special teams player in Jake Camarda. Georgia Bulldogs have owned the last 12 months of college football, and that's trickled into the NFL now. What's next for Kirby Smart and this program? I think that's a great question that nobody is talking about. Everyone's been talking about what's been happening. What's the next step for Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs and that staff that he seems to be doing a great job of putting together every year? Ryan Curley with Dog Post here, talking about the Georgia Bulldogs program, the national championships, and what's more, something that's talked about a lot in DAWGSTRUCTION. So make sure you're going to check that out. All sorts of really cool pictures and stories from the 2021 national championship season and that 2022 championship. Okay. We talk about Kirby Smart's success. He had 6 years with Georgia. Let's look at what he's done. Because I don't know how much. I mean, he cemented his legacy in Georgia football history, and he's going to continue to do that. But there's nothing that they're looking for now. It's the rest of it is just doing it again. Now a Heisman Trophy winner, I guess, is the last thing left. So we'll see if that happens, actually. No, I just thought about that as I'm on here talking. You got the 6 years. You've got top 5 recruiting classes. You've had number 1 recruiting classes. Boom. You've got an SEC championship. You've got a few New Year's Six Bowls, including an awesome Rose Bowl. You've got a national championship. And you just broke an NFL draft record with 15 players drafted. Kirby Smart has nothing left to prove, ladies and gentlemen. And he did it in 6 years. He showed what a program can become with excellence and being elite and reinforcing that on a daily basis. Kirby Smart has done that for Georgia, and Georgia is in the best position they've ever been in. And they're only going to continue to keep doing well. And now at this point, I guess the only thing that of extreme substance that Georgia, and obviously a back-to-back national champions would be great, but that doesn't happen a lot in college football, would be a Heisman Trophy winner. Now that I sit here and think about it, and so you wonder, is that something that can really happen with the way that Georgia kind of runs their team and their offense and the Kirby Smart philosophies? Is that something that can happen? Is Stetson Bennett a Heisman Trophy candidate? Not according to Vegas, and to me, probably not. I don't think that's impossible because I think he's got the weapons around him, and if they decide that they're gonna put their foot on the gas, Stetson Bennett could have the numbers. Now, I don't think that's the way Georgia plays. And the problem with all these skill position guys is I don't know which one's going to get enough touches to have a Heisman season. Brock Bowers is one of the best weapons in college football, but is he, with what they have, is he going to be able to do better than he did last year? Numbers-wise, I don't know. I don't think that that's necessarily going to happen. Is A.D. Mitchell that guy? I just don't know if he's going to get the ball enough. Now, I think if it was going to be someone, I think it would probably be a running back. If Kendall Milton or Kenny McIntosh just goes berserk, which I think they both are capable of doing, then maybe there's your Heisman candidate. But I just don't know that anybody on this team is going to get the proper touches, and Stetson Bennett is going to get those proper touches, but I don't know if that's the way things are going to work out. So maybe that is the next big challenge for Georgia. But you know who doesn't care about a Heisman Trophy winner? I don't think Kirby Smart cares about that much because it hasn't affected his recruiting. People are worried about these receivers, these quarterbacks. Well, they keep wanting to come to Georgia. Arch Manning's in the mix. Georgia's in the mix for Arch Manning. These guys still want to come to Georgia, and winning a national championship matters a lot. And the defense is going to keep getting plugged and played. Georgia's going to have more first-round picks next year. They're going to have a lot of draft picks. I think Jalen Carter is going to be a first-round pick, and I think he could be a top 10 pick. Georgia and Kirby churn it out. I think that Keely Ringo, if he takes the next step, could be a first-round pick. I think Nolan Smith, if he takes the next step, could be a first-round pick. I think a lot of guys can work their way into being drafted. I think if Christopher Smith has a good year, I think he's an NFL draft pick. I think on offense, if Kendall Milton and Kenny McIntosh produce, they're both going to be NFL draft picks. And that would be a lot of Georgia running backs in the NFL, which would be very impressive, and that would prove RBU. But there's tons of talent on this team, and some of it's untapped. There's guys that haven't stepped foot on the field for real yet that are freshmen that will be NFL draft picks in a couple years, because that's how good these recruiting classes are. And so individual trophies, though, don't matter as much to a coach. It's a recruiting tactic, really, and it's a cool thing to have, your quarterback, your running back, your receiver, because it's always those positions, win that Heisman Trophy. But I don't think Kirby Smart really cares about that. I think it's a team success thing, and I think that's something that they drill in at Georgia. Now, you had Jordan Davis win individual awards. You had Nakobe Dean win individual awards. We've seen other guys win those positional groups. We saw Brock Bowers get a Freshman of the Year award. That's all really great for recruiting, but it's not. I don't think that's the message in Athens. I don't think that's the message at all. I think that winning football games is what matters, and developing the talent, and that is what has happened. Now, this is not me saying that the job is done for Kirby Smart, that he's done everything, but man, has she checked off a lot of boxes in a short amount of time. And so now, what's a new box? Continuation of success. That's what they want. Continuation of success. Win more national championships, win more bowl games, win more SEC championships, bring in those recruiting classes, and dominate college football. Dominate college football and create a dynasty. There you go. There's the new answer to the question. Create a dynasty. That's your next challenge, Kirby Smart, according to me. We'll see you at the site, dogpost.com. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION below. See you next week.